Hey, Composing Gloves here, and today we're talking about inversions. This time we're going to start with triads. So sometimes instructors just go ham and start giving you all these inversions, but we're going to work our way up. And I've even made the exercises. So the first couple are like, these are easy, like no problem. And then they start getting a little more interesting as you go. And I start omitting. In the past, I've given you always these sort of weird ones with just like A sharp major, just weird stuff you don't normally see. I do that a lot less here because we're now in the part where having done those weird ones, they'll enable you to really get comfortable with these. When we get to sevenths and stuff though, the weird ones will come up by themselves. So I no longer need to include them. You'll get all the weird crap as we go anyways. And I'll try and point out how it's useful because it's actually really, really cool. And most people just don't use it because they don't know how. So, okay. This is broken up into two parts, triad inversion exercise. So the first part is this whole first section here. You will be creating chords in this section. And you are to create the chords in the specified inversion. So I put first inversion, second inversion, and root position. We will replace this when we talk about figure bass with figure bass. So this will not go away. We'll just get a way better way of doing it. And I've given you the chord symbols. So these are the chords you are to build. So let's go ahead. Let's do one, maybe not at the very beginning. Let's do this one right here, G minor, right? So I'll put down some notes. And so we need to build a G minor chord and first inversion. There's a couple ways you could do this. I'm going to show you what I hope you're able to do. So we say G minor. Well, that's G, B flat, D. And so we say, well, B flat's the third. The third is the first inversion. So I'm going to put a B flat down and then put a G and put so we have G, B flat, and what is it? A D. So we'll put down a D. Bam, first inversion. That's correct. This is also correct. This is correct. Like you have a lot of options, okay? Just I want you to have every part of the chord down. When we get to tetrads, I'll talk about some stuff we need to be aware of because you can have ambiguous chords, which could be very useful musically. So anyways, that's all we're doing. So we just build it, we put it down. That's all you gotta do. Just build the chord. And you have a whole bunch. You have like some augmented chords, some diminished chords, cool stuff. So, okay, now coming down here, the game changes. Here, I want you to name the chord, and I also want you to specify the chord. Oh, I needed to show you method 2. I'm sorry. So method 2, let's say you can't just build chords off the top of your head like that. Maybe you're dealing with a weird one you're not comfortable with, like maybe F sharp or something. So to do this, you just build a regular chord. So you say, well, I know in root position, it looks like this. Like get out your root position chord. And you say, well, first inversion, I have to have the third in the bass, and you're done. So that's an equally effective way to do it. If that's where you're at, it's cool. You'll get faster. As long as you can build the chord in a reasonable amount of time. So like build F sharp. What is that? Like F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. And so then you just put that down. You say, well, C sharp has got to be in the bass because C sharp is the fifth to F sharp. And away you go. So, we'd have something like, so we'd have C sharp in the bass. It would sound like that. And so there you go. If you play piano, you're at an advantage, just so you know. Okay, so down here, we are identifying chords and writing their inversions. So there's two ways to do this. The first one is, this is the quicker way. You'll eventually start doing it this way. So this is the quick way. You say, well, I've got an E, a G, and a C. And I'm like, what chord does that sound like? So you have to have some intuition. You say E, G, C. You say, well, that sounds like C major. And just with your familiarity with working with chords, you'll just gain this ability. And then you say, oh, okay, well, this is C major. Like you test it out. You're like, oh, let's see here. C, G. I'm hitting these in the wrong order. E, G, C. You say, that is indeed a C major chord. And so we can hit Control K and put C major. And then what inversion? Well, E is in the bass, so we say Control T. This is in second inversion. And once you've written it once, I recommend copy and pasting just the inversion thing. And you just put it down there. I've been putting them down here. I don't know, I varied a little bit. But anyways, you get the idea. So, okay, that's how that goes. But what if you can't? I'm undoing other stuff. Whatever. What if you cannot do it like that? Well, we can use that trick I talked about in the earlier video. We could see what is the closest I can get these things to look like. So I could say, well, this C is the furthest thing away. So I'm going to move this C down. And when I do that, I say, oh, C major. There's the root position staring me in the face. So it's really nice for triads. And so we're going to warm up our way here. You notice these are open voiced. So if you don't have that ability to just sort of sense what chord it is, you'll simply move them around. So over here we say, okay, well, this is pretty weird. Well, this G can come down and this C could come down. And if you didn't catch that, I'm not like arbitrarily moving them. This is a G, so I'm going to move it down an octave. Down an octave. And you hit control down to do that. And so C, down an octave. And there you have it, C major right there. They're not all C major. I change things up. I give you some more interesting ones. Some are, you know, diminished. I can't remember if I put an augmented one in here. Some are very far apart. And across the grand staff, because we need to get much more comfortable with working with this, it will begin squeezing into our life here more and more. So that's this exercise. Please do the whole thing. There is an answer key too, so you can check your answers. You can have many different answers, those we just talked about. So just because your answer doesn't match mine doesn't mean yours is wrong. Just make sure you have the correct bass note. On the identification ones, there's pretty much a right answer. But on the chord building ones, you know, you have some freedom. You're being creative. So yeah, do them. Get comfortable with these. They will pop up more and more. Remember, this is the air that we breathe with. We're not even saying stuff yet. We're just learning how to breathe music. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day.